the time, it's going to come down to if Oz can use her enough to stop these big key moments where he's going to hit a pass, because I don't know, he's found his groove in the win and when not to be aggressive, and I think this might be his breakout game,
Okay.
despite being against one of the better users.
I was gonna say if Browns pulls this out, I mean it'll definitely surprise me. But I Osborne's a great user. Um, I mean he doesn't have Sheldon Richardson on the line anymore. I don't believe. I
Still
believe
has
that
Leonard Williams though.
he does
Yep.
have Leonard Williams, but I mean you can always run to the other side. Um, as long as the Browns doesn't try to force any passes, he can probably pull this out. I think the Browns might have a better roster than the Jets right now,
Yeah.
but I'm still leaning Jets.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with Jamie on that one.
So our next matchup, we have the Carolina Panthers, DJ Derek, at Ford Field, playing Lit. Now, this game, I don't know enough about Derek. He seems to be kind of
Me either.
flighty for this league. I don't know if he's got other shit going on or not, but I know Lip's committed, and I don't know, it's a home game. He's hungry for a win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just part of me wanting to see a division foe get an L, but I think the Lions got him in this one.
Looking at the schedule, Lip is taking a beating to this beginning of the season. It's took a real beating, and I mean this. Like you said, I haven't seen this Panthers guy in action. I don't know how consistent he is. So I'm gonna have to go with Lip on this one. I know he's a consistent guy. He's always practicing his game on Madden, and I know after taking that many L's, if you're a consistent user, you're hungry and you're determined, and you're gonna find a way to get that W. And I think
Yep.
his first W is gonna come
I think it'll be a
versus this
grinded
Panthers
out
team.
win, but it'll be there.
I think if Lip can stop the run, he'll be fine. He doesn't seem to be throwing the ball too well with Cam Newton. And again, he's had to play some pretty big teams. He had to do this the Giants CPU. He had to play the Falcons, which I mean, but then he actually had a pretty decent game against the Vikings. Like he only lost by 20 points. So I don't know. I think the Lions are hungry. They're at home. The Panthers. This is a proven game for both of them. Like this is the first game where a new person is coming in to play someone that we've had in the league for a little while now.
Yep.
And that'll sort of, shape how everything's going.
Definitely things
So,
will start
I
falling in
think-
place more on the NFC side of things after that match.
If Lions can stop Christian McCaffrey, then they should be able to win. But if they can't, then it's over.
All right. So, who's your pick? You've kind of
Lions.
decided on the. Okay. All right. So, week 5, we have Lil Adrian and the 49ers traveling to, Indianapolis. You're going to play the Colts. So, who do you got?
Colts.
I'm gonna have to go Colts on this one.
I'm going
Yeah.
Colts as well. I think both rosters could use some serious overhauls, but I think Colts has this one. So let's move on to the next one. We have the Savage. You're playing the Dolphins. Right now we have a CPU for the Dolphins. I like your chances
Oh,
against
no.
the CPU, though.
Picking the Dolphins.
I picked the Dolphins too. Nigel always gets screwed by a CPU. Also, he does better when you go against him. Right, Nigel?
Yeah, I'm
So
just going to
what?
pick him.
I said you do better when people go against you. You play with a chip on your shoulder and you do better.
I'm picking Nigel. I just don't see you losing this game.
I might
Not
have
with
to
how
go
you've
right
been
out
running
and
the
send-
ball.
Throw it up to the Madden gods.
All right, so let's move on to this one. We got the Chargers at Giants. Chargers, supposedly we got a user for them. They're not in the league yet. Giants is going to be CPU. This could be a true CPU sim game if things don't get solved quickly. In that case, I think the Giants would win a CPU sim matchup, but it's kind of that might be the snoozer of the week. I might have spoke too soon. But
Yeah, I think in both occasions, CPU versus CPU, Giants take it, and CPU versus user, Giants take it.
yeah. So
I think if it's CPU, the CPU Chargers might actually win. They have the same level of quarterback. The receiver advantage obviously goes to the Giants because they have Sterling Shepard and Odell Beckham Jr. along with Brandon Marshall. While the Chargers only have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, really. The running back advantage, I believe, goes to the Chargers. The Giants don't have very much at running back. The defensive front seven for the Chargers isn't anything to sleep on, though. Like, Joey Bosa's really good. They have really good linebackers. Like, that's the one shining part of the Chargers. They have pretty good corners still. I mean, Casey Hayward, he's not bad. So
you're going Chargers?
If the Giants user plays against the CPU Chargers, so like the Chargers doesn't get in the league yet. No, I mean other way around. If the user Chargers plays against the Giants, I believe the Chargers will lose.
Okay.
I have no clue exactly at all who this is, but but if the CPU, I'm going Chargers.
All right. Is that your final answer?
Yes, I lock it in.
All right.
Click.
All right, so let's move on to this Cardinals-Eagles matchup. I believe Experienced Noob
Eagles.
is actually departing the league.
Oh,
So
then maybe
as
not
it
the Eagles.
stands, it's the Cardinals versus the Eagles CPU until further notice.
Well, maybe still the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm
going-
about to go with CPU on this one.
I'm going Eagles as well. So
CPUs in this game are just so hard to beat.
we have Jaguars at Steelers. This is a Madden 17 Scrub Squad League Super Bowl rematch in which, if you re-listen to the first Squadcast, Cam goes on the record as saying, "Oh yeah, I don't really remember the score of that game. I think it might have been like 16-0 or something like that." So he wants to put it off like it wasn't a big game for him, but I think he shined that little win up and put it on his shelf. So you know Carlos is coming into this game. He's going to give him everything he's got. You got Fournette coming in healthy. The Steelers are stacked. I mean, we all know that. Great user. Coming off a rough loss in week 3. We'll see what happens for week 4. But, yeah, this is my game of the week. And I think that the Steelers are going to win 23-17.
I don't know about that. I think the Jaguars got it. Carlos is, working on running the ball. He knows how to not throw to a user like the Steelers is. As long as he can pound that rock to Fournette, he should be fine. It's probably not going to be a high-scoring game. I don't see it being a high-scoring game, but I still give it to the Jaguars. Probably, I don't know, 10-7.
Okay. See this being a lot of a defensive matchup more so, huh?
Yeah, and this one, I really don't know who, just because of Jags coming off of that close win to the Jets, and then seeing the Steelers lose to the Bears. I don't know where these teams are at right now. So, but they're both great users. So I can't call anything on this one. I could see either team winning this game. But I want to go on the record saying I want the Jags to lose, being the division rival. I want the Steelers to win. So if you hear the Steelers, please, put in work.
Still a little sore about that loss, Nigel?
Sore. I'm
Yeah,
salty.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So let's move on to this next one. We have the Seahawks at Rams. I think this could be a unanimous
Rams.
decision.
Yeah, Rams.
Yeah.
All right. So this could be a real interesting matchup we have next. We have Quan with the Ravens against Weatherman 4611's Raiders. Raiders are
Yeah.
fresh off a win
The
against
Raiders-
the undefeated Broncos team
yeah.
at the time.
Mm-hmm. They beat Caleb. I mean, they were.
Shots
I don't know.
fired.
I mean, he had scoreless games against Nigel and Osborne, which I know
No, that was
probably
a different user. Week 1.
was it. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Then maybe things have changed a little bit.
Yeah, they
So
got
then
fresh blood in Oakland.
the Raiders are a stacked team.
I'm
So
going Raiders.
I think
on
they
this
got
one.
it. Yeah. I mean,
I think
they're
they finally
I
got
believe
their
they're at home
swashbuckler
as
in
well.
Oakland.
I think the Raiders will probably take that division. Actually,
Oh man. You said forget the week.
Talk about a
Looks like
flip
we're
flop.
taking the division.
Yeah.
Caleb, when he gets into the the limelight, he kind of chokes it. So
As long as he doesn't
Yeah, I
go
can
back to the
definitely see
Twilight
the
Zone, we'll
Raiders
be
taking
fine.
as long
Yeah,
as he
that was a
doesn't
scary
lose
moment.
too badly and then just trade away his whole team again, we'll be fine.
So,
Yeah, but I got Raiders winning that matchup.
okay, so I
Mhm.
think we're all in
Raiders.
unanimous decision there. So how about Packers at Cowboys? We have Jamie here against Chris is the Bomb.
Chris. Chris. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
This game's gonna end in a tie.
I don't know.
Man,
It's
have we had a
Chris
tie in
seems to
Scrub
be in,
Squad
like,
league history?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Chris seems to be he seems out of his groove for some reason. I think either I'm gonna be a slump buster, or my defense is gonna step up and I'll just run the ball more. But
Yeah, I got Packers in this one just because I don't think Chris is fully dedicated to Madden right now, and the way Jamie's defense has been playing, I think his defense is going to take over and make plays for him.
I'm going Packers as well. I think that as long as you don't make too many crazy mistakes and don't put Aaron Rodgers in harm's way, I think that Cowboys secondary is a little depleted still from this offseason. And I just see him being opened up. And I think you're going to expose him.
I hope so. All right.
So let's move
That's
on
enough
to...
about me.
We're going to move on to this is the Sunday night matchup. Chiefs at Texans.
Probably Texans.
I got Texans on this one.
Yeah, Dizzy's really good.
This is an interesting
That,
team
Yeah,
for
the
these
Chiefs,
franchises,
I mean,
though.
sure,
the
the
old Chiefs were the Texans before this, right? Like a long time ago?
I
Back
believe
in the
so.
day? So, a lot of depth here for both these franchises. Interesting matchup. But I definitely have to go Texans as well. I think it'll be a really close defensive game, and this could be one of those games that highlights what we talked about earlier, where the Chiefs are that team where these tight defensive games that they can hang in there with any good defensive team. They have the firepower on offense. I don't know
They do.
if DeAndre Hopkins, all they got to really do is spotlight him and take him out of the game, and who else are the Texans really going to break the game out with?
Right. This is definitely a key
Will
game
Fuller.
for both teams.
Will Fuller, yeah.
The Chiefs win this game, it kind of puts them up as, in the talks of being one of those top end teams and being a contender.